and welcome to MicroStrategy's Mobile App Developer Academy. This course is entitled Pins and Bubble Maps. I'll present the steps necessary to configure displays of business data on the Map widget using various types of map markers. You can use the Map widget to provide useful and powerful visual and geographic displays of business information. Using MicroStrategy Web in design and interactive modes, I'll create the Map widget. Then I'll demonstrate the usage of image and bubble markers. After watching this video, you should be able to implement a working map widget within your document and use an appropriate marker display style depending on your particular business case. For this course demo, let's analyze business performance of the stores situated in various geographical locations. Our document uses a data set that contains description and geographical location of each store as well as sales data. Let's begin by adding a grid with data about stores to a document. Insert the grid by clicking on the plus sign so that it will take all the space in the predefined panel. From the dataset, add store, store latitude, and store longitude attributes to the widget's template. Also add sales, sales growth, sales target, sales per labor hour, and sales rank metrics. Now we'll configure the grid to be displayed as a map widget on the iPad. Right-click the grid and select Properties and Formatting. Then select the widget option and choose the map from the drop-down list of available mobile widgets. To start, we'll configure the widget to allow it to use the geographical coordinates of the stores. Click on the widget properties icon to open the widget's configuration editor. There are two ways of using geospatial data in the map widget, depending on the available dataset. The first way is to obtain the latitude and longitude from two separate forms of the single attribute. The second way is to obtain them from two separate attributes, and this is the option we'll use in our case. Under the Select Location field for Use Attribute or Form property, we choose the Use Attribute option. In the Select Data Type property, choose Latitude-Longitude option. The other option is Point, which refers to the data type that stores the latitude and longitude data in the single data structure. However, in this particular case, it's not useful. For latitude, we select Store Latitude, and you guessed it, for longitude, we select Store Longitude. Additionally, we need to decide which attribute will be used for selection display. This property determines what kind of data should be displayed in the information window when the user selects locations in the widget. In our case, it is Store Attribute because it contains the description for each store. Now we'll focus on different scenarios of data display. The first and simplest scenario is to only display store locations on the map without representing business values visually. A single image marker will represent each store. After selecting the Use Image Markers option, we can use one of the predefined markers. Let's choose Retail Store. We apply the changes we have made, save the document, and open it in MicroStrategy Mobile. Now let's talk about the actual display of the map widget. By default, the map is displayed at the appropriate location and zoom level to fit all of the stores on a single screen. In other words, it displays the geographic region where the data about the stores exists. Each store is represented with the same image marker. However, in most situations, predefined thematic image markers might not be suitable for your particular type of business subject. In this case, we can use one of the more universal images called push pins. We can choose from regular, rounded, and balloon push pins. Let's choose the balloon push pin. However, if the predefined pins are not sufficient enough for our requirements, we could choose a custom image marker. To insert it, we need to use the conditional formatting functionality. Our custom image will be the star.gif file, located in the Images folder on the Intelligence Web and Mobile server. First, we display our document in the interactive mode. To use a custom image as a marker, right-click on the sales metric, choose Thresholds, and select Advanced. Here we define new thresholds on the sales metric. If we want to permanently replace a predefined marker with the custom one, we should provide a condition that is always true. For example, sales is greater than or equal to 0 because revenue is always a positive value. We apply the condition and then double-click on the text on the right side of the threshold editor to define the way of formatting. In the Format window, we enable the Replace Data option, choose Image from the drop-down list, and input the following path for the image. We click OK to apply the formatting changes, and then click OK to apply the threshold. We save the document and check the results in MicroStrategy Mobile. As we see, predefined markers have been replaced with a custom one. Another scenario is to display stores with visual indication of the single metric's value. In our case, it will be sales growth metric. One of the available solutions is to use image markers with the same image, but with different colors, representing different levels of alert. In the previous scenario, we selected the predefined balloon pushpin as the marker style, so we only need to insert a custom image marker with the red pin. Let's run the document in the interactive mode and define conditional formatting on the sales metric, which is by default responsible for the marker's visual display, even when a condition is related to the sales growth metric. We delete the existing threshold for the sales metric and create a new one. Sales growth is less than 0. After applying, we define the formatting. Metric value is replaced with the red pin image file. Apply thresholds by clicking OK. Save the document and run it on an iPad. As we can see, stores that experienced a decrease in sales are highlighted with the red colored pin. The rest of the stores are marked with a regular balloon push pin. Another scenario is to put emphasis on visual display of two metrics at the same time. In our case, those will be sales and sales growth metrics. The solution is to use dynamic bubble markers and conditional formatting functionality. The value of the first metric will be represented by automatically sized bubbles, and the value of the second metric will be represented by the bubble color set in the threshold editor. We will represent sales as bubble size and sales growth as bubble color. Let's go back to the design mode. Open widget properties and enable the use of bubble markers. We can additionally specify the maximum size of a bubble in pixels and the way of representing negative values of the metric. Negative values can be represented as absolute values, or bubbles with size is fixed at the level of 7 pixels. However, we won't consider this option because sales values are positive numbers. Click OK to apply the changes. The sales growth metric will be represented by the bubble color. So let's run the document in the interactive mode and edit conditional formatting for this metric. We retain the condition applied in the previous scenario, so sales growth is less than 0, but we need to change the formatting properties. First, we need to disable the Replace Data option. Bubble color will change when we modify the fill color of the cell on the Color and Lines tab. Let's choose the red color. Then we create a new threshold to represent positive values of sales growth with a green color. We apply the changes by clicking OK, save the document, and open it on an iPad. The size of each bubble represents sales values for that particular store. Additionally, bubbles with the green color represent stores where the sales has increased over time, and ones in red represent decreases. Using various styles of image and bubble markers combined with conditional formatting functionality allows us to not only show particular locations and objects on the map, but also to put visual emphasis on business trends associated with them. This can really enhance a business user's ability to analyze data. I will now demonstrate the usage of automatic pop-up information windows and show how to define custom regions on the map. To achieve better text readability in this next scenario, associated with information window functionality, let's change the fill color for the rest of the metrics to gray 25%. Apply the changes, save the document, and open it on an iPad. In our final scenario, we want to analyze values of at least 3 metrics on the Map widget. The best solution is to use the automatic pop-up information window functionality. This is standard functionality of the Map widget, which allows end users to see the values of all metrics placed on the widget's template. This functionality doesn't require any pre-configuration, and it can be used by tapping on the particular store on the map. As we can see, the pop-up window has appeared with the store description and the exact values of all 5 metrics from the widget's template. Furthermore, when we tap on the clustered set of stores, the automatic pop-up window appears with the list of stores that are located in the selected area. When we choose one of the stores, another information window appears with detailed information about this store. Additionally, this new window allows us to toggle the view between data of stores situated in the location selected previously on the map. To have more control over how metric values are displayed, you need to configure a custom pop-up window, which can be called when we tap on a particular location on the map. You will not only be able to display the data in your own custom style, but you can also embed links to other documents or reports with detailed data on the location you've selected. To conclude, let's talk about the Map widget's control panel functionality. This can be accessed from the bottom right corner of the map. It can be used to define custom regions on the map and then view the properties of objects located inside these regions. First, let's define the rectangular region. After it's defined, we can see a window on the right side of the screen that shows the currently defined regions. In Region 1, we have 3 markers, meaning that there are 3 stores inside it. After selecting a region, another pop-up window displays with the descriptions of stores located inside it. After selecting one of the stores, the details of the selected object are displayed in the new information window. We can also draw a circle-shaped region and custom-shaped regions, which we can define freeform. The last option is to make a region, which will just be a set of stores selected on the map. After we make our selection, we tap Done. This way we form another region with a new set of stores. When we are done working with the regions and want to delete all of them at once, we simply tap on the X button and all regions will disappear. If we want to hide the control panel, we tap once again on its icon. And that's a wrap for this MATA course on pins and bubble maps.